Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 24th edition of the Shootcast. My name is Fred. I am being joined, of course, by my illustrious co-host, Mr. Che.
Are you ready for the biggest show of the summer?
I'm not. I
The
am not.
longest show?
I'm not. I'm ready for a 4-hour nap
Yeah,
before and after the show.
5 hours. Remember, we got the great pre-show that goes on too.
I was hoping the 4-hour nap would include that. So, hello, everybody, and we're glad to be back. We've had an extended hiatus from the Shootcast. We've been a little bit busy with life itself and all those other things, but this being SummerSlam, the not the granddaddy of them all, but the granddaddy of the summer.
hmm
This half of the year being graced by SummerSlam. Thought we'd come back and do a nice little preview show for this. So let's get right into it. Now, obviously, as always, there's not really a confirmed bout order, so we're just gonna kind of guess at things. But over the course of it, we'll end up getting all the matches out of the way. So let's get into it. First of all, four-way tag team title match is what we assume will be on the pre-show. So we've got four teams. We got the primetime players, which consists of Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. We've got Los Matadores, Fernando and Diego, with El Torito, of course, the Lucha Dragons, Kalisto Sin Cara, and the New Day, Kofi Kingston, Big E, and or Xavier Woods. It says here that they're not exactly sure what configuration you're going to have. That's sort of the wild card of that New Day team. So,
Oh,
first prediction, I guess, would be who is going to comprise the New Day?
it's gonna be Big E and Kofi.
You think so?
Yeah, but remember Elimination Chamber where I think it was where one of them tagged each other in or something, like one of them impersonated the other one.
They did that shit on Raw, too.
Oh, Raw, yeah.
The referee
Oh,
was just
man.
like, oh, it's just two black guys. So, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Hey, they might do that with the Matadors. Hey, two Hispanic guys, and hey, have El Torito coming, even though he's like
How
straight
come the
foot.
Los Matadores can't do that? They're just masked, you can't really tell them apart. The Bellas used to pull it off.
Yeah, and Lucha Dragons could do it too.
Well, not as much. One's bigger than the other one.
That's just true.
But anyways, all right. So I agree with you. That's usually the flagship team would be Kofi and Big E. That's usually their championship team. Xavier is more of like an outside guy, it seems, as of late. So, all right. This match should be good for a pre-show. Should give people a bit of like an appetizer to the full show. Not really, what you notice with a lot of these is that there's not much storyline to it.
Mm-mm.
They trade wins back and forth. They trade shenanigans back and forth. Somebody cheats. They're mad about it. You know what I mean? But in
Nah.
general, there's not really much story to this. So you're just presented with action. And I think that that's what they're going to present.
Yeah, I mean you got two big guys like Big E and Titus. Really, the only two big guys. I mean, the one guy from the Lucha Dragons, I don't remember him being gigantic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a bunch of luchadors slash cruiserweights or whatever they're called, just versus the New Day, which that's kind of weird. I don't know how they're gonna. Is it gonna be like Big E and Titus fighting each other, or is it just? It's
I'm
just
not,
gonna be
well,
weird.
it's going to be a fatal four-way, so I believe it's going to be the traditional tag where you can tag in different members of different teams and stuff like that.
Well, it should be interesting. I mean, it's glad we got the fucking luchadors in there. I mean, the fucking lucha dragons, because matadors to me they suck. New Day sucks, and primetime players I haven't really seen that much of them. They've only started recently coming back, like a couple months ago, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, then you're gonna see Big E trying to run around and shit again, gassed out after 2 minutes.
Well, it's funny. In this primetime players thing, I didn't really expect much of it, but Titus O'Neil's kind of caught on. The Lucha
Yeah.
Dragons, should and do have a little bit of steam on them based on the high octane style that they have. And believe it or not, the New Day is actually starting to catch on with people. And that's part of the problem with being heel is if you're really entertaining, then people are going to gravitate to you and they're not going to, dislike you as a heel. So, them being out in New York, specifically being at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, I don't know, man. I have this weird feeling that the crowd is going to like sort of rally behind them of the four teams.
It does seem like that. I mean, nowadays when you're a heel, I guess because being a face is so boring and everything, there's not much compelling storylines. They just want to hate the people. They just want to love the people they're supposed to hate.
Hmm.
I think it's kind of like kind of like a thumb in your nose at the company. I think that has to do with it a little bit, but I'm not sure. I don't know what it is about heels, but I just the traditional face versus heels gone because the
Hmm.
crowd doesn't give a shit about that.
True. So, of course, the primetime players being the defending champs. What is your prediction here for this match?
I think the primetime players. I think they're gonna hold the title at least for at least a month or two.
Hmm.
I think so because I don't see them giving it to the Matadores
Nope.
or the Lucha Dragons
Nope.
for sure. I don't see him. I don't see him giving it. I know New Day has momentum, but I don't see him giving it up to the New Day so fast.
Man, I'm telling you, the
Again,
poor Los Matadores, man. Do you think?
they're
Do you think?
never.
Do you think they believe that there's any upward mobility for them in the company anytime soon? I mean, they
No,
are literally just they're a jobber tag team.
no. I mean, oh man, they would have to be incredibly optimistic to think that they're going anywhere because they're never getting the titles, and I don't think they're not going to win that many matches.
I mean, they've got El Torito, which is a nice touch. It's nice to have him. He's a nice little prop, but man, they these two poor guys, they're just there. They're the backbone of the tag division though. When shit was rough, they were throwing in every single matchup,
Mm-hmm.
and that trend continues on here. So I'm actually going to agree with you on this one. I think the primetime players retain. I don't think there's any reason to switch the titles, especially on the pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were going to switch the titles, I would say it would be New Day if they were going to, of
Oh
the four
yes.
teams.
Oh no
But I'm
doubt.
also going to agree with I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to go primetime players to retain. So let's move on. The next matchup that I would just assume would open up the pay per view. This is the guy that I always bet opens up almost any preview, or sorry, any pay per view when given the opportunity. Dolph Ziggler with actual Lana versus Rusev and fake Lana, also known as Summer Rae.
Can we just have fake Lana and Lana fight?
Oh man, yeah, they've
Just
been
have them
doing
be
that
on
a
the
lot.
outside. Yeah,
They're
just
taking
have
off
them
their
be on.
shoes and fucking slapping each other and stuff. It's been
Yeah,
fantastic.
just have them be the managers this match because Dolph Ziggler and Dog Ziggler and fucking Rusev. I don't really care about that. I like the action that's been going on between both Lanas.
Mm-hmm.
You should be fucking just sitting on her back and just like it's just crazy, like true quote unquote submission sorority type shit. They should just fight. They should just duke it out because I have no interest in seeing fucking Dolph Ziggler and Rusev.
It is unbelievable what's happened to Rusev.
Yeah, it's
Poor
sad.
guy, man. He lost his girlfriend. He lost his unbeaten streak. He lost his manhood. He lost his physical health. And he definitely lost his title. Man, oh man, he even lost his nationality. Russia disowned him after he lost to
Mm-hmm.
John Cena.
That is relevant because he's going to be in the lower to mid card for probably the rest of his career.
And fucking Vince. Well, Rusev, are you familiar with cuckold?
Nope.
So what we're gonna have you do here? We're gonna put your girlfriend, your real life girlfriend. We're gonna put her with Dolph, and she's gonna fuck him. Wait, what do you mean we can't do that? All right, well they're just gonna make out in front of you, full sexual penetration, in the back, off camera.
Nope. No, I couldn't do that. Sorry. That's just fuck that. He's just oh man.
I'm just saying, man.
That's
Rusev is
bad.
Rusev is very generous for the company, letting fucking Dolph Ziggler tongue his girl down in front of him. I'm just saying.
He is. It's all in the course of like a year too.
Hmm.
He goes from this guy he's beefing with John Cena. He's getting a good spot on the card, and as soon as that shit's over, just whatever,
So
go down.
there you go, man. Poor Rusev. As far as the match goes, no title on the line, nothing like that. This is just for the principle of the thing.
I say shenanigans.
I think that Rusev finally gets one. He's been he's been just eating shit for weeks. And the way that this is, I say that Ziggler goes over. Or sorry, that Rusev goes over. And I think that there's going to be more to this story, more to this program, and I think that it's going to culminate at WrestleMania, possibly. I think that we'll see this carried on to WrestleMania, and that'll be the blow off. Maybe they'll have some match in between, but I think the blow off will be at WrestleMania,
I
where
think Rusev's gonna.
Lana finally comes out of her shell and you know turns full American again and all this other shit that she's doing.
I think Rusev wins, but I think there's gonna be something going on. I think fake Lana and Lana are gonna get into a fight again. Probably right in the
Fantastic.
middle of the ring. They're gonna jump in there. Something's gonna happen where one of them tries to go in and do something for their man or whatever, and they both just the heels come off.
Well, let's have them in a bait. This is SummerSlam. We'll have them in bikinis, and maybe their tops will come off.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that'd be yeah. You know what? I'd give the show a 10 out of 10 if they did that.
Well, we're gonna have to get through 10 out of 10 of these matches. So let's move on. We've got what I assume will be next. I don't know why, but I just feel like this would be a good placement for it. Arrows. Stephen Amell versus Neville versus Stardust and the Cosmic King, King Barrett.
Oh.
Tag team match, Che.
I mean, that's that's all I gotta say. Just a huge sigh. I don't like Stardust. Not a big fan of King Barrett. Neville I like because of the red arrow and how agile he is. And even though he's a small guy, but he's still built like a fucking tank. He is a big motherfucker for the height that he is. He can move around pretty good, but I don't know how the arrow guy off the TV show. I don't know how he's gonna wrestle, but I don't know. That just felt like something desperate.
He's not gonna wrestle.
Yeah,
he's just gonna be there and do a little bit of punch and kick, or maybe a clothesline, or maybe like throw someone over the ropes, like the hand behind the head, like run them towards the ropes and then throw themselves out. Like he's gonna have zero moves and he's not gonna take any bumps. That's for sure.
No, I just think he was just put in there because they needed some sort of star credibility or something in there to get people excited for it. Since they know it's gonna be 4 hours, but I just think it's going to be Neville and Stardust fighting the whole time, most of the time. I think King Bear's going to have very little action, and of course, the Arrow guy, he's not going to do much.
I don't know.
I think Neville wins in the Arrow guy.
I mean, obviously, this isn't like Mr. T and Hulk Hogan or something like that. But if you are going to have a celebrity involvement, it is good to put them in a tag team where they can rely on the actual wrestlers to do most of the work. It's just on paper that's pretty mismatched, don't you think? I mean, Stardust and King Barrett, the King of the Ring, versus essentially one guy. It's like a handicap match, and if it's booked as anything other than a handicap match, if Amel is like getting in offense and stuff like that, it's gonna look really, really weird. They try to let you suspend your disbelief here, so for me, I'm going Stardust and King Barrett to win this. I don't know. I mean, you would think that they would want to have a feel good and have Neville and Amel win, but I just don't see how they could book it where Neville single-handedly beats Stardust and King Barrett with just a little bit of punch kick offense from Amel,
I see. I just think they're going to go for the feel-good moment. I think they're just going to have both Arrows win, but it's going to be awkward.
Then it's going to be really weirdly booked then, because like I said, it's just going to be Neville doing all the work, and what is Amel reasonably going to put into this match?
Like a punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
So I'm going for the Cosmic Team or whatever the fuck. And we'll jot down Che for the Arrows.
They better not have them stupid face-to-face promos when they're walking into the ring. With Stardust.
Those little picture-in-pictures?
Yeah, like with Stardust saying some stupid... No, he doesn't do that. He does some like gremlin shit.
I fucking hate that character so much. All right, so some dissension for this pick finally. We'll move on to what I assume to be next. Ryback, the Intercontinental Champion, versus the Big Show and the Miz in a triple threat match for said championship.
Big Show and Ryback. Zero fucks given right there.
It's essentially the same guy, just in different stages of their career.
Yeah, I mean, oh man, and you have how mismatched is that? You got two gigantic guys and
a little
Miz and a little dude.
It's gonna look ridiculous, actually.
Yeah, they're gonna have the two big guys like pushing each other and shit because they're gonna get gassed easily, and the little guy like running around trying to like Miz trying to kick him or some shit like that. He's gonna do some shady shit, but oh my, I think this is gonna be the match that almost puts me to sleep. Depending on where it is on the card, if we're right about it. Oh my gosh, what are they gonna do? Like Ryback and Big, they're gonna punch each other, push each other. They're not gonna do that much running.
I don't know. And speaking of Miz, look at what happened to Sandow, man. He is just completely gone.
Macho Mandow.
Yeah, the Mega Powers.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Oh yeah, real well.
Yeah.
Hulkamania is still running wild, man. So as far as a prediction, I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. Ryback retains. Get some offense in on Miz, get some offense in on Big Show. Probably pins the Big Show to keep the Miz somewhat strong and relevant.
I'm gonna say the Miz wins.
Really?
I think he's gonna pull some shenanigans and win. I think he's gonna pull that because he's a jackass and shit. So I think he's gonna do something like that.
All right. Well, there you go. Some more dissension in the picks. All right. We'll move on. I would assume, again, that this would be next, just to give people some excitement coming off of that Ryback and Big Show matchup. The three-team elimination match, which is Team Bella, the Bella Twins and Alicia Fox, Team Bad, Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Tamina, and Team PCB, formerly the submission sorority, before they realized that was a pornographic name. Paige, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. One of the most uninspired names, PCB. That's their team name. They should have called them something else. They have the dynamic where one's got black hair, one's got blonde hair, and one's got red hair. They should have did something with that. Vince's Angels. Yeah, it's Vince's Angels. Come on down there.
That's Roman Reigns. Vince's Angels, so.
Yeah.
I don't care about these diva matches. I don't care.
Well, you're supposed to care. And WWE is trying to guilt trip you into caring. You care about women's wrestling, Che. Or you're a chauvinist pig and you're a monster.
Yeah, all right, so what? I could see, I understand, whatever, they got the new blood in there, like Sasha Banks and Charlotte, but there's still barely any storyline. There's no consequence or anything like that. It's just a thrown-together match that just goes a little bit longer than usual. And you're going to have fucking Bella, Brie mode and shit like that. And, I say Paige, Charlotte, and that other woman wins.
Becky Lynch.
Becky, see, this is how much I don't care. These women matches are so fucking boring. They're so boring.
All right. Well, in my opinion, I think this is good. A lot has changed since the last time we did the Shootcast, and since then, Stephanie went out there and really put herself over by being the person who introduced these divas, even though it was really Triple H behind the scenes bringing this in.
Sucks.
Stephanie had to become the face of it. No, look at me. I brought in the women, empowerment, and all this other bullshit. She had to become the face of that debut. But, all right, let's break this down. You get in three very good talents. You get in Sasha Banks, you get in Charlotte, and you get in Becky Lynch. Now, Sasha Banks and Charlotte were very much deserving of it and almost no-brainers. Becky Lynch has been very much improving, so it's good to see her get a chance, even though I was a little bit surprised that they brought her too. It's a shot in the arm for the division, but unfortunately, it's not what people thought. People thought that there would be now a sort of switch to the NXT style of wrestling, and unfortunately, it's more NXT people falling in line with the WWE style of wrestling. So
that's always going to be like that.
Yeah, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks are very much adapting and changing their styles so that they can fit in more with the WWE. And I would say within a year, they would be almost completely nerfed, neutered, subdued, tamed as wrestlers.
Yeah.
But as far as the prediction goes, there's no tag team titles on the line. There's no women's title on the line. There's no stakes here. I think they're going to give Team PCB the win and make them look strong.
Yeah, they're going to be building them up with a confrontation with Team Bella. I know they got Team Bad, but I really think PCB and the Bella tag team are going to be the two main ones. You know what I mean? Feuding. Because you still got that rivalry between fucking Nikki and Paige.
Unfortunately, Sasha Banks just got dealt a bad hand.
Yeah.
I mean, it is an opportunity for her to shine, and she already is. You know, she's really sticking out against Naomi and Tamina, being, you know, Tamina is just not good at all, unfortunately, and Naomi is very, very athletic, but she doesn't put it together as well as some of the other ladies. She gets away with things because of her athleticism, and she doesn't focus as much on the technique and the psychology of the match.
The other one, Jimmy Snuka's. I wouldn't Taomi.
Tamina.
Tamina, what the hell? All right. Why did I think that anyway? She just reminds me like a bodyguard.
Yeah. No,
she doesn't say much. She just stands
like,
there.
what was that girl? Jazz?
Yeah, Jazz.
Or I forgot the one that was getting involved in the Sable match too. A giant woman, Nicole Bass.
Oh.
Remember her?
Oh, yeah. How can you not remember her?
So.
Oh, yeah. She just stands there and just crosses arms.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks into people.
She is one of the best arm crossers ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tamina's not good. I would like for there to be some more depth in the division. You know, maybe bring over Bailey, something like that.
Yeah.
She's been improving herself very much, and she's been there for a really long time. But they need to have something in NXT because, I mean, who do you have left? You got like Blue Pants, Bailey. That's all I can. Emma. You know, there's a few girls, but you know they sort of strip-mined it, and now you're, you know, kind of having to develop more talent on NXT without a good roster for them to go against. So
I just think for the women's, they need to have better storylines and have some actual consequence. You know what I mean? Because it's just starting to remind me of the tag team division. We're just throwing matches together for the hell of it.
That's true. I mean, we're going to have to get some singles matches going.
Yeah, have someone competing for a title already.
Mm-hmm. So, that's my prediction. PCB to win. What do you think, Jay?
I go with your PCB.
All right.
It's our submission sorority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Let's do the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper versus Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns in a tag match.
Now, I heard something interesting. I heard someone say a theory that, and I don't think it's going to happen, that this is when Dean Ambrose is going to turn heel and attack Roman Reigns. I don't think that it's going to happen. Now, I hear people trying to say that Dean Ambrose is going to turn heel at one point.
I don't know. And that would be really crazy. I've been hearing rumors that Sting was originally supposed to be involved in this match in some way. I've also heard that they're trying to add another person to the Wyatt family, but because Luke Harper's already your big lumbering guy, that they would want to have more of like your finesse guy. You know, they would want to balance the team out and have a different dynamic. And now that you mention that, can you imagine Dean Ambrose as part of the Wyatt family? That'd be pretty fucking crazy.
That would.
Yeah.
That'd be out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think that's why, that's what that person was saying. That's why him and Roman Reigns are like, tag teaming and stuff, or you see him as a collective a little bit more than usual because he's just going to turn heel and attack Roman Reigns at some point. I don't see it, but it's definitely a possibility. I mean, they sure as fuck ain't giving Roman Reigns a chance at the title for a while.
Do you think putting Dean Ambrose as a heel would be a good idea, though? I mean, he does sort of get a reaction. They are short on heels, but, he definitely does get a bit of a reaction.
He does, but I think that, Seth Rollins as a heel is so fucking boring and shit, and people are just not into it, that they're trying to like. I think that they're trying to find like new avenues and shit. Cause you got to think about it. Seth Rollins is a top heel of the company because he's a champion. What has he accomplished? You know,
Yeah, that's true.
promos are boring. It reminds me of Authority promo. He's not an entertaining heel, and you know maybe that's not all him because he's just scripted the way he is. But I don't know. I just think Dean Ambrose would be the better heel than
They're
Seth
very
Rollins.
they're very tightly they're very tightly scripted. That is a
Yeah,
fact. The only one that's really able to come off the cuff so far has been John Cena.
yeah. I just
So
think I don't know. I think
and Paul Heyman to a certain extent. They let him have free reign. Paul Heyman and
fucking
John Cena.
aneurysms.
So everybody else is very tightly scripted.
Yeah, I just think that's hurting them. I mean, it's I don't know. I say that Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose are gonna win, but I'm just gonna go with a wild card. I think some beef is gonna happen between them, and maybe it won't pop off now, but I think something's gonna at least start happening between them after this match.
Yeah, I mean, way it's kind of done now, it's like two action figures, like the good guys versus the monsters. And I can see that. I definitely can see some sort of shenanigans and let the Wyatt family get the win. Um, Again, I don't know the status of Eric Rowan, if he's coming back or not, and what they want to do with him. It would be a little uninspired to just put the team back together after breaking them up and not really having all that much success. I don't know. Could you imagine Dean Ambrose as one of the Wyatts, though? You think that'd be? He's got a little bit of the look, kind of.
Uh,
Kind of crazy looking. You know, he grows out his beard and shit.
yeah, I don't know. I can imagine him being heel by himself, but that'd definitely be something different.
That'd be fucking crazy, huh?
That would. I mean, he's not doing anything,
Then they
so
got their finesse guy.
yeah, because they don't need two big guys. They don't need three big guys. They
Yeah.
already got two big guys.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper to win by some sort of dissension between the other team.
Something. Definitely something.
All right, let's move on. Let's do Kevin Owens versus Cesaro. This match is getting built up fairly well. I mean, you know, you get the visual on Raw where you have Owens, Cesaro, Sheamus, and Orton in the ring, and you look at the top, you know, contenders for the title and stuff like that. It looks decent. It's nice to see Cesaro getting a push now. Unfortunately, it took Tyson Kidd suffering a pretty severe injury and having a lengthy layoff for Cesaro to get that singles push, but he's making the most of it, and it looks like this is going to be a decent match. You know, Kevin Owens produces a decent match, and Cesaro has been very much improving, and it looks like they're finally giving him the shot. So, what do you think, man? Kevin Owens and Cesaro.
I think the match is because Kevin Owens for a bigger guy, he can move. I think it's gonna be very high octane. You know, very athletic match. I think it's gonna go a little bit longer than the average match on this card because you know they want to. The hardcore fans, they want to see good wrestling, and I think Cesaro and Kevin Owens will give them that. Who wins? I'm really stumped on who wins, though.
I think it's pretty straightforward. I think they're going to keep Owens strong. I think they're going to keep him ready.
Yeah, but damn. I
They're-
thought that Cesaro will at least get one thing over. He's looking like a jobber. You know what I mean? Seems like he's just thrown in there to make other to help everyone else look good.
The thing is that once Kid comes back, I think they're going to pair them back up as a tag.
You think he's coming back anytime soon?
We don't know for sure, but I just think that they can't build him too much because his destiny is to be back in that tag team. They don't really have any. The singles push that he's getting right now is sort of out of necessity. This wasn't like something where they said, "All right, let's strap a rocket to Cesaro," because you heard their comments towards him. Well, you know, he just doesn't connect with the fans. You know, so it seems like this is sort of a temporary thing for Cesaro, and I think that they're afraid if they build him up too much, then it's going to be at the expense of other people who aren't going to be slated back into a tag team once the opportunity arises. So I'm going to go Owens. I think that Cesaro is destined to be back in a tag team, and I think that for right now they're going to have him jobbing. And like he's going to be a jobber to the stars, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, here now I'll go with Owens because yeah, that does make sense, especially with Tyson Kidd. He's not known if he's going to retire or not. There hasn't been anything set in stone, so they don't
Right.
want to shoot themselves in the foot just in case he comes back.
Exactly. All right, let's move on then. This will be the 43rd iteration of this match, I think. We're gonna have the fantastic, the vaunted, the marvelous, definitely fresh matchup of Orton and Sheamus. Man, this
Uh,
is who.
I'm bored. Sheamus is one of the most boring fucking people, heel or face. He's just
Oh, but he's Mr. Money in the Bank. Look,
so
he's the wild card
unoriginal.
now.
He's so
He can run
unoriginal.
down and cash in at any moment, Che.
Yeah,
From now until the next Money in the Bank, he has the opportunity to cash that in and get that voucher at a title match. He almost did it on Raw.
can you just imagine the match?
Oh, it's gonna
You have
be
fucking Sheamus
standard.
beating his fucking chest and yelling and shit with all the little fucking things on his beard, and you're gonna have Randy Orton just doing whatever, the same old Randy Orton. He's gonna get a couple shit and then do the thing where he lays on the floor and slaps, which is it's not bad, but again, Sheamus is just so boring. There's no chemistry between them. Their feud is old, it's outdated, it's boring. We've seen it before. It's kind of like what was going on with Big Show and Roman Reigns for a while. You know what I mean? They kept on fighting each other. I have no interest in this match, but I'm gonna say Randy Orton wins.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Ah.
I'm gonna say Randy Orton wins.
Huh. I'm gonna go Sheamus. And the reason
Because Sheamus,
why
because Sheamus has money in the bank. He doesn't have to win the match.
he doesn't, but he does have to look strong so that he can. Well, because there's rumors that he's going to try to cash in during the main event, or not the main, the co-main event with Rollins and Cena, so that way they don't have to change the belts over without doing something too wacky. And
It's a tough one,
that
huh?
would be something where he would lose and be bitter about it, and then come out and ultimately get his revenge and take that title. You know what? You convinced me. Yeah, I talked myself into it. I'm gonna do Orton is gonna win, and that leads us to the next matchup, which is contingent on that.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins, your WWE champion, defending against the United States champion, title for title, John Cena. So let's branch off of that. I think that there is a strong possibility of shenanigans. I don't think that somebody's going to walk away with both titles. I don't see a situation where Rollins has the United States Championship and then gifts it to somebody because he doesn't really have any. I mean, who is he aligned with? Like, who's going to give it to Kane? You know. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't see him carrying around both. I don't see them merging them because the WWE title and the United States title have done great separately. You know, the Invitational's been good. It's given Cena a purpose to wrestle with different talents and sort of bring them up. I mean, that was a big thing for Cesaro and Owens. They answered the challenge for the U.S. title, and that sort of brought them up as far as fan perception that they can hold their own with Cena. So,
Nah. Someone saw something's gonna happen, and I think you're right with the Sheamus cashing it in. There has to be something. There's
but
no way one of them's gonna have both titles. It just wouldn't make any sense. What's John Cena gonna do? Get the world title and just relinquish to the United States champion next day?
but then what sense does it make that Lesnar is chasing Sheamus as the champ?
Yeah.
He wants to get his revenge against Rollins. That's the ultimate program that they want to set up. When Lesnar came back before, like the next night, before he got suspended and fucked up the camera people and shit like that, it was that he wanted his revenge at Rollins. I don't really see them wasting that. I think that that's what's going to be the culmination is at WrestleMania. You're going to get Rollins and Lesnar in that big grudge match revenge. I finally get my hands on him type of situation. So
Yeah, but what? You're just gonna have one of them like relinquish the other title the next day?
I just think they're going to do shenanigans. I just think that there can be a DQ.
Where they both keep their titles.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, or maybe there'd be some sort of. I mean, who can get involved? Kane could get involved. Where's Kane
Yeah,
been?
you could definitely.
Kane could come in, and maybe Kane can come in and hit Seth Rollins like "fuck you" kind of thing, and they can both keep their titles. I don't know, but there's
Something.
gonna be some. There's no way that one person's gonna walk out with both,
No, I agree with you that
because
there's
nothing is rational. Cena gets the title, and then it's gonna be Lesnar Cena. No one really cares. Uh, Whatever they do, they have to end up at WrestleMania with Rollins and Lesnar.
now. What if they pull a whammy on you and Cena wins the title again?
And then what? And then Rollins gets it. Do you agree though that that's the end destination is Lesnar and Rollins at WrestleMania?
I think that's the only way to do it.
I mean,
To build up this, it would be building up a feud that's been going on for a while. It'd be a good ending to it
hmm
because
I
we
just don't
seen
see I just don't see
we
any other way to get there.
we've seen Brock Lesnar and Cena multiple times, and we've seen Brock Lesnar destroy, and I mean fucking annihilate John Cena last year SummerSlam.
hmm
What else is there to see? I mean, he got his ass kicked. We never really seen, the culmination or the ending of Rollins and Lesnar, and they should do it at a big stage.
hmm
Yeah, I think DQ's the only way out of this one.
Some sort of DQ.
Something has to
Some
happen.
sort of fucking. I don't think they'll do a count out, but in a match that has this significance, there has to be a high profile DQ. Like it has to be Sting dropping down and hitting people with bats. It has to be
But who would he hit?
something that matters.
Who would Sting go down there to
I'm just
bat?
giving an
Oh,
example, but I'm just saying like this has to be like a high level interference. This can't just be like somebody grabs somebody and brings them out of the ring and punches them. This has to be like, you know, there's a lot at stake here. So they have to they can't just present a lame DQ.
whew. I'm curious to see what they do with this one.
In the way they would do it before, they'd have like Bray Wyatt come out and spoil it.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I don't know, but I just feel like there has to be some sort of grand interference. There has to be something
What do you
over the
think?
top, some over the top violence.
What do you think's gonna happen? Like your best guess, what would you think this DQ would be?
I mean, the most rational thing is fucking Kane, but it could be Kane turning on Rollins and fucking him up or something like that. But then there's also rumors that Kane's going to get involved in the Undertaker match. So, fuck.
It's a tough one.
I'm going to say they get themselves DQ'd with some extreme act of violence. Like, they
Yeah.
do some big fucking superplex onto the tables outside, and then they're both knocked out for the 10 count or something.
We'll see, man. I don't know. Kind of had this crazy thought in my head that Dean Ambrose turns heel and goes out and starts beating the shit out of John Cena for Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
But that's just a wild guess because I'm literally stumped. I don't know how they're gonna DQ this because you're right. They do need something that's memorable and some big
They
fucking
can't cheat their way out of it. They can't cheese
yeah.
their way into some, oh, well, they're DQ'd. Guess we have to wait.
Yeah, there needs to be something. I don't know why they get themselves in their position. Both belts on the fucking line.
And it has to be something where then Cena goes after this person instead, so Rollins and Lesnar can focus on each other.
Yeah,
So
something. I gotta say DQ, but I don't know how. I'm gonna have to wait.
because like you can think about it. All right, Seth, or how about okay, Cena wins the title and then Sheamus cashes in, so that he has it. But again, that doesn't take you to WrestleMania with Rollins and Lesnar. So that's tough. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go DQ. Nobody wins, but I just don't know how they book it.
I'm with you on that. I'm curious to see how they get themselves out of this fucking position they put them in.
They put themselves there. They
Yeah.
declared that there's going to be title versus title. No one asked for it, or there wasn't any. Oh, put the titles against each other. So that was completely them. We'll see what they do.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully they don't fuck it up. Moving on, Brock Lesnar, accompanied by Paul Heyman and The Undertaker. The grudge match that no one asked for.
The match that makes no sense.
Yeah.
What are you gonna have? What are you gonna have? Undertaker win?
No, let's have
What's the point?
Undertaker lose here so it doesn't affect his record at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The streak's already over.
Well, again, instead of having it two losses at WrestleMania, just have him lose here, and that way you don't have to add to his loss column.
Oh God, what if Brock Lesnar suplexes him the way he did Rollins at one
He's
time?
gonna injure him for life. He's
Ah,
so reckless with those fucking suplexes, and now it's expected of him to do those.
because you got to look. The match has got to look physical.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to look like a grudge match. Because this is a guy that took away Undertaker's streak. There's got to be something going on, dude. I have a bad feeling about this match. I just have a feeling he's gonna get reckless and he's just gonna dunk him on his head or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I hope not, but it's just. I mean, you see the way Undertaker looks, man. His body's done.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that much more in the tank. He's been doing this for a long time, and his body's just.
There's no more sugar left.
There's no more. There's no more. There's nothing.
Hmm.
But
Well,
I mean, do you think it's gonna be a slow match?
it's gonna have to be. You think that that Undertaker is gonna come back and let Lesnar? Yeah, just suplex me 30 times. Yeah, slam me, boss.
No, it's not. It's not gonna be like that. He's leaving in an ambulance if it's like that.
He
John
might
Cena
he might
match.
let him do one. It'll be like Andre the Giant and Hogan. He's on the floor. He just lets him do one. Slam me, boss. Just
something.
one. Just one.
Something.
I don't know. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that talk? Hey, Andy, come on in here. All right, so no, we're thinking about taking a bump, and we're actually we've talked at length, and we wanted to let you know that we're thinking about the record. We're thinking about doing your own streak of suplexes. We're gonna do 56.
God damn. We're gonna dunk you on your head.
56. That's right. And if you don't do it, I'll fucking kill you. All right, Vince. Well, I guess we're doing 56 of them. So.
Oh no, no,
Now get the fuck out of here. I need some me time.
What do you think Brock Lesnar's gonna? You think he's gonna be a little less careless in this match?
I mean, he's gonna do the courtesies, but it just seems as though this is. This is just a dumb idea.
A pointless match.
Dumb match. They could have done so much. I feel like the reason they didn't do Rollins and Lesnar is so they can save it for WrestleMania because Lesnar's gonna go right through him. Fuck. I mean the narrative of this match has been that Undertaker is the heel and he'll do groin shots and shit like that to get
But they're not gonna boo him. They're not gonna boo Undertaker.
They kind of are a little bit. I mean, there's a little bit of like "fuck you, what the fuck" kind of shit. But yeah, I mean, they have such a respect for him that it really doesn't amount to much.
They're not gonna boo Brock Lesnar too because they like him, especially ever since he fucking suplexed Cena to death.
But it is pretty clear that they're booking Undertaker as the heel in this feud. So
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. He's just back.
I say Lesnar goes through Undertaker fairly convincingly. I think the Undertaker is going to get offense in just out of respect, and I can't see a match where Undertaker agrees to just get fucking demolished.
No.
Because why come back? You didn't need to come back. You already put Lesnar over at WrestleMania, so why would you come back just to get demolished? I think there's more psychology to it, but I think ultimately Lesnar does win, and the Undertaker is able to take another loss without it being still being significant, but not being at WrestleMania. And I just don't know why they did this match at all.
No.
Why even bother? It's just SummerSlam,
It's desperation because you got to think about it like this. The WWE will not build new stars. They're relying on people 10, 15, 20, 20 years in the business up to or even more to like main event. You know what I mean? That's why, getting The Rock against Stone Cold Hulk Hogan host and everything like that. They're relying on the past because they refuse to build new stars. I mean, what's going to happen when these people get too old? John Cena has to retire or take a leave of absence or he gets hurt because his body's worn out. Or these old stars you can't rely on anymore because they get too old. I mean, I think WWE does this for like a short period, but I think long term they're gonna get fucked.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point to this match.
No. It's a payday for Undertaker.
Yeah.
What payday is it for the WWE in this? You think people are subscribing for this?
No.
No. I don't know,
Yeah, because you
man.
can't have Brock Lesnar losing. That makes him look bad. And Undertaker losing, I mean, that's not gonna help him. He come back and get his ass kicked. What the hell's the point? But you can't have him winning because it makes Brock Lesnar look bad. But Brock Lesnar wins, and it's like, what the hell was the point of fucking Undertaker coming back? Fight Brock Lesnar again.
It's gonna be Brock. I think that
Yeah.
Undertaker's gonna get some offense in, but like the thing is though, is that when Brock dominates a match, he does it with a bunch of suplexes and a bunch of high amplitude throws. And I don't think that Undertaker's gonna be willing to take those kind of bumps at this point in his career.
Hell no, I
in this
wouldn't.
stage of his life. So I think it's gonna be a lot of punch and kick. I think it's gonna be a lot of like outside the ring, throw him into the ring post.
You think he's gonna get the takedown on Taker at any point? Like try to do like the, well, sort of like MMA type thing. You know how he like gets on top of him and just fake punches him
Yeah,
like a ground and pound.
yeah. He can be the Undertaker, and you can be the Taker Downer. How about that?
Yeah, you think he's gonna do any of that? You think he's gonna show any of his?
Yeah, well, they both fashion themselves as MMA fighters, with Brock actually
Mhm.
having competed and achieved at the highest level of the sport. Undertaker's always tried to be like a fake fighter, doing. He tried to do an armbar, and then he had he had like a go-go plata that he called Hell's Gate, and he was wearing MMA gloves and shit like that. So I don't know, maybe a little bit of groundwork, but
Yeah.
I just don't see there being a ton of throws and shit like that and
No,
suplexes.
no. They're gonna have to stay away. Undertaker probably talking to him like, you can't slam me like that, dude.
So yeah, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar winning.
I agree.
And I don't know. I don't think this will culminate at WrestleMania because that would be 2-0 to Brock Lesnar. So
No, they need Brock Lesnar and Rollins.
maybe that'll be it. Maybe that'll be it for the Undertaker's Brock Lesnar program. So all right.
Yeah.
So we both got Brock Lesnar in that one. Let's do a quick recap, and we will conclude this episode of the Shootcast. We've got a four-way, and we are taking the primetime players. We've got Ziggler and Rusev in a grudge match over females, and we are both taking Rusev. For the arrows, Neville and Stephen Amell versus Stardust and King Barrett. I am going with the Cosmic Team. Mr. Che here going with the arrows. The three-way title match for the Intercontinental Championship, Ryback, Big Show, and The Miz. Mr. Che is going with The Miz. I am, of course, going with Ryback. The three-team female elimination match between PCB, Team Bella, and Team Bad. We are both going with PCB. The tag match, Reigns and Ambrose versus the Wyatt family, Wyatt and Harper. We are both going with the Wyatt family. Cesaro and Owens. We are both going with Kevin Owens. Orton and Sheamus, both going with Orton. Cena and Rollins, we are both going with a DQ. And of course, your main event, Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker in the grudge match that no one wanted. We're both going with Brock Lesnar. And that's it. 4-hour show, 5 hours counting the pre-show.
Oh,
Excitement level, Che, out of 10.
3.
Oh, I'm going to go with 4 for 4 hours.
Yeah.
1 for each hour. How about that?
Ah.
I'll score a 1 on excitement for each hour.
Man. Hopefully we don't, hopefully none of us passes out during this.
I might.
I'm hoping, I hope it's better than what I think it's going to be, because there is no need to fucking extend this to it. It's not WrestleMania. There's no need to go 4 hours with this.
I don't know. So there's that. We'll probably be back with the review show after this is done, and we will be completely open and honest with our feelings towards the match.
Mhm.
But I don't know, man. This just there's potential, but you know how they do things.
Yeah.
So, anyways, for me, my co-host, Mr. Che, thank you guys very much for tuning in to the Shootcast. We missed you guys. We hope you missed us, and we'll be back for the review of SummerSlam. Have a good one.
Peace.